first part of flood protection that we're getting done in the city is a hazard mitigation grant program, and that's funding through the North Dakota Department of Emergency Services. We applied for a grant and were able to get funds to provide flood protection around our water plant and high service pump station in Minot, since it's a vital piece of infrastructure and provides water to a lot of northwest North Dakota. That project is about a $25 million project, and it consists of flood walls, tieback levees, and road closure on 16th Street around our water plant. When we saw that there was these hazard mitigation funds available, we needed to look at projects, like I said, that provided a large benefit to the community, and also we take into consideration our most vital infrastructure to protect. The water plant was a number one on our list when we saw that as something that during the flood we spent a lot of effort building levees and protecting it, and we did have some infiltration into the reservoir, so it just made sense to prioritize that and then do the analysis, the cost of the project versus the benefits, to see if we came up with the cost-benefit ratio that's required. There's a lot of, I guess, work involved in even beginning a project like this. The first part was the application process. In putting the application together and everything for that, going through that process, coming up with the one benefit cost ratio, and then submitting all that information to North Dakota Department of Emergency Services and FEMA, waiting for the approval process on that. That took about a year, or a little over a year. By the time you solicit for an engineering firm, that takes time. You have to go through the legal process. We're required to advertise for so many weeks for the engineering services. Then that approval has to be taken to council, negotiating contract, and then the fun begins. We start the design on the project, because even the design, there has to be a geotechnical analysis done, which consists of boring holes along the proposed alignment where the flood protection is going to go, to make sure that the soils are adequate to hold up a flood wall or a levee or anything of that type. So we're limited. There's about 6 months out of the year in winter that you can't do a lot of drilling or geotechnical analysis. We have to go through the environmental assessment process, and that requires us to look at different options, including a no-build option, analyzing different alignments, different options, whether it could be all levees or flood walls or combinations of. So like I said, we're in the process of that. That brings us up to where we are today. We're just completing the environmental analysis and the preliminary design. We should have clearance on the environmental in early June, and then they can complete the design on the alternative that some of the funding agencies have to sign off on. Then we finish the design, and hopefully by September of this year we'll have bids out for that project around the water plant. They'll be able to do some of it. There's a lot of stormwater work that has to be done, relocation of storm sewers, construction of a pumping station, things like that. Basically, the contractor will be able to start on some of the smaller items, but as far as the building of the flood walls and the levees and things like that, that won't start until 2015. And then hopefully most of that can be completed in 2015. What doesn't get done will be finished up early in 2016.